So, what's cool and what we know in the industry now is people are not just looking for any old place to stay. They want something cool and they want an experience. And so, creating this shoppable stay with FromWhere is another experience for your guest. It's something else for them that helps your stay live on because they're taking a part of home with them. So, it's also a cool thing for hosts to be able to offer to their guests.
It's exciting. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Cynthia Tant with Sip Sell Repeat Real Estate, and I'm here in Pensacola, Florida. And I have the honor today to introduce you to Nisha Franklin. And let me tell you a little bit about her because then she's going to tell us a lot more about her. She's based out of Los Angeles and is the co-founder of FromWhere, which is a platform that turns beautifully designed spaces into shoppable experiences. FromWhere supports 200 plus storefronts, helping hosts, designers, and creators monetize their current spaces. I'm excited to know how to do that. So take it away. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and about your business and how you got all started with this.
Sure. Yes, I'd love to. Thank you so much. As you said, FromWhere is basically a platform that can make spaces shoppable. We started in the short-term rental space because my husband and I love to travel with our family, and we found ourselves time and time again in an STR saying, "Well, that is a really cool piece of art," or "That's a really nice coffee table," or whatever it was. And we realized that we probably weren't the only ones asking those questions. So we pulled our network, tapped into the STR hospitality industry, kind of asked around to see what was out there, and we got some really positive feedback early on. So we thought, you know what, let's build this thing. So we did, and we started with short-term rentals, and then quickly realized that there was also a market for boutique hotels and interior designers to also monetize their spaces with digital storefronts. What's really cool about what we do is we make it really easy for people because we know that they're managing a million different things. So what we do with FromWhere is we take that, the heavy lifting, and we turn on their storefront. And we just need like sort of very minimal input on what a host or owner or interior designer want to have on that storefront. They have, complete oversight into that. And then we make sure it looks nice, everything's ready to go. And then we send them their custom link and custom QR code that they can then drive their guests or clients to their page.
This is interesting. So are there, the way you design it, are there individual pieces then within someone's accommodations? Is that what you're doing? Maybe I'm not under, is that what it is? Okay.
That's exactly right. So if you
Okay.
say you stay in an Airbnb and it has, you love the bedding or you love the mattress or
Oh,
you love
got it.
the table or the artwork or the coffee maker or whatever it is that stood out to you. And maybe there's some of those special, unique pieces in that property itself. You can either, scan the QR code, or usually hosts will send, communication saying, by the way, if you loved anything in our space, some
Yeah.
of these items you can shop on our storefront. And then you would go on to FromWhere and see that storefront and it have those items listed for sale. And we work with the hosts by having partnerships with a number of different affiliate partners, trade partners. We have some wholesale partners. And then the host is able to make a little extra money as well because we basically share those commissions and margins with them.
So when did you get started doing this? I mean, when did you jump into it and say, okay, we're going to take our expertise and what we do with traveling and everything and let's give it a go? When did you get started?
Um, we started over a year ago, but we've really been running for about a year. So there was kind of that like research phase and
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
figure out what made sense and how to set everything up. So yeah, we've been around for about a year.
So I think you said, do you have a background in design a little bit or something like that? Is that what kind of brought you into this or?
So I have my background is marketing and advertising,
Okay.
branding. So a lot of everything and across a lot of different industries as well. And then David, who's my husband and the co-founder, he has a entrepreneurial background. So he was really the one that was like, this is a great idea. You just need to do it. So, and then we kind of share responsibilities in that I'm more on the creative and design and marketing
Okay.
side and very operationally wired.
Well, that's great. Well, I know there's other companies out there too that do the similar thing. As far as that, I mean, I've been approached by several myself because I do own short-term rentals. So what do you think sets you aside from maybe some of the, I'm not gonna say names or anything, just promoting you today, okay? That how that makes you different than maybe somebody else and doing similar things, but like I like the way you say it's an experience. So you're creating an experience, right?
Yep, sure. So, a couple things. One is that this is what we are built for and what we started as. So, there are other ways to do what we're doing, or for example, some hosts might have like another storefront using another platform. There are several of those, like
Uh-huh.
affiliate type platforms, but we were built for this space. So, our
Okay.
storefronts look a little different, they're a little easier to navigate. And we also do other things beyond that. So, for example, we have memberships for interior designers and for boutique hotels, and that can help them get some visibility. We have directory listings on FromWhere. So we're really trying to be like a resource as well. We have some guides in terms of, how to best furnish an STR, or what are some of the best coffee makers we see hosts using and loving, and things like that. So, yeah, we're a little different. There are some players in the space, but we're offering something a little different. There are some that are doing more like focused on like the group purchasing side or what have you, and or like maybe starting an STR, how to start an STR. There are those as well. So we think we're a little bit different because we're more focused on um the storefronts themselves, and then we're, not just in the STR space at this point, we're also, building storefronts for boutique hotels and designers.
Well, that's great. And so I guess I think the word is creating a shoppable stay. Explain that term a little bit for me.
So what's cool, and what we know in the industry now is people are not just looking for any old place to stay. They want something cool and they want an experience. And so creating this shoppable stay with FromWhere is another experience for your guest. It's something else for them. It helps your stay like live on because they're taking a part home with them. So it's also a cool thing for hosts to be able to offer um, to their guests.
It's exciting. How does someone get in touch with you? Since we're going to keep talking, but let us know how can we get in touch with you to find out more about you.
Sure.
Um,
So we are fromwhere.com. So just www.fromwhere.com. And there's a little sign up tab. So host boutique hotels, interior designers can sign up there. And then we get in touch with you. It's just a very simple form field. So it's just kind of name, phone number, email. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and our handle on those is at fromwhere, um, fromwhere, and then INDS.
Finds. Okay. And so as you started in the short-term rental business, and you've been relatively in it a short period of time, but you traveled a lot and you noticed things that you liked. So taking that entrepreneurial spirit, as we say, and working with your husband, that may be a little interesting. We can talk about that if you want to. Sure. um, and so how have you found us, as I'm a short-term rental owner too, receptive to what you are going to be providing for our guests who are coming in?
Yep, mostly very positively because it's really something added that doesn't take a lot of work on the host
That's what I was
part.
going to ask you. I was going to ask you about
Um,
that. Yeah.
because I've talked, and we've gone to a lot of these different events and really plugged into the community. And one of the things I hear time and time again is, I have so many things going on. I have zero capacity for anything else. And so that's
Right.
really why we built FromWhere the way we built it. It's you don't have to spend hours and hours trying to figure out what you want to put on there. I mean, we accept like receipts. If you want to send us here's the stuff that we have that we want you to list, and we'll have our team figure out where those items are from and put them on the storefront.
Wow,
There's
that's
very
awesome.
little, yeah, so there's very little work on a host end to get up and running. There's no like minimum number of items that you have to include. We just try and make it as simple as possible. And we kind of started, you mentioned that we travel a lot, which is kind of how we got into this from the like guest side. Um,
Mhm.
and one of the first places we started was I like opened up my apps and I said, okay, we've stayed at all of these places. Let's contact these hosts and let's see what they think about the idea and let's see if they'll sign up. That was kind of our initial test, if you will.
Okay, that's great. So you actually tested the market before you went ahead and threw all the money at it, and then now where? So and when you first contacted those people back, since you had been a guest with them, stayed with them, you said the reception was very positive. Did you find because it appears that the way you set your system up is it takes the burden off of us, which is amazing that we don't have to worry about it. Did you find that they started slowly with a few items or things, or did they how did that work out with with your digital storefront?
That's a great question. So what we did was kind of our guide is if people have asked you about anything in any of your properties, let's start with those things. So
Yes.
a couple of people say, yeah, oh, people always ask me about the towels. People always ask me about the linen. I have people asking me about this cool cloth or whatever it is. Like that's what we started with and started small. And then you can build from there. The other thing
Okay.
that we do offer and is really cool is a lot of the things we can have our team source and figure out and put on the storefront just using listing pictures. So if you say, "Hey,
Oh, wow.
I want you
Okay.
to build my storefront, here are my listing pictures, and here are like a few of the places that I got things from," we can actually find those products, list them on there, and then we send you kind of a preview of the storefront. And we say, "We've taken a stab at building it. This is what's on it. Let us know how it looks." And you can say, "Yeah, everything looks great except for these two things need to be switched out." And then we're good to go. So like I said, it's just, trying to be as make it as easy as possible for the host.
Okay. Well, we're from the technical side of it. And so each person who becomes involved with you would have their own digital storefront. Is that correct?
Yep,
Okay. And then so there's a QR code that makes it easy for guests that they come and they can use the QR code and it goes into that owner's digital storefront. Okay.
exactly.
And so then everything, but me as an owner, I'm not having to take credit cards or do any of the back end stuff. Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
So when you, as you said, you like your branding and marketing is an expertise. Do you assist maybe the owners to how to help promote for that additional quote little bit of income or income source without being like in your face kind of stuff? How
Yeah,
do you
no, that's a fantastic question, and that's actually something that we have, we've had a little bit of a challenge with. What we do is we do provide like an onboarding, so it gives you, you know, a nice like PDF that you can print out and put in your, the house book.
right?
We kind of give some of the language that you might want to include in some of your guest communication, which I'd mentioned before. If you like something in our space, you can shop the space here we give you your URL. So we try and provide those materials so that it's really just very painless for you. You can copy and paste it if you want to.
Mhm.
Um, One of the challenges is once we do that, we have very little oversight
Right,
into did you actually do that? Did you
right, right,
put that in the home? Did you put that in the communications? Are you sending people to your storefront or not? So that's something
right.
difficult because we can give you everything, but we can't make sure that it's being done.
Well, and that's in anything, right? Yeah, for
True.
sure. But so if I've got it all set up, so how is your, what's the word I want to say? How do I come on board to you and what am I going to compensate you for as far as how does that work too? Because we're talking to the ladies here who may be interested in doing this.
Yep. So for you personally, we can build your storefronts for free, which when we did start, all of the storefronts we were building were free of charge. Now we're charging a $99 annual fee to build, manage, and upkeep the storefront. And then, like you mentioned before, we do all of the inventory fulfillment, customer service, everything. We take care of that. So that's kind of what is baked into that fee. And then we send monthly reporting to all of our storefront owners so that they can see how many people are coming to their storefront. We can track all of that. So, how I mentioned, we don't know if people are actually promoting their storefront.
Right.
Well, we do know if they're not, because if they have, zero views, we know
Right.
they're not.
Right.
Um,
So it's $99 annually. Is that what you're saying?
yep, yep.
Really?
So that's kind of how you get your storefront built, and then
Okay.
we we send the reporting with kind of what the commissions are on the products that were sold, so you have visibility into what people are actually purchasing, and then
Right.
what is from that.
Okay. So who had more of the technical experience here to get all this set up? Was it you
Not
or did you hire it out or was your husband?
not me. Yeah.
So did
So
you hire it out then as far as get someone to build it for you?
yeah, so we
Yeah.
did have some developers and a team for the initial build, and then David is definitely way more techie than I am. So yes, he kind of has been overseeing that part. But as we move forward, I'm sort of taking more ownership over everything. So hopefully everything works
And
well.
and that was in the long-term plan. Is that how that was working out?
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, to be completely transparent, we started it together. He's always had a lot of things going on, and this was sort of one of the things that I was very excited about. It feels like the right for me, so I'm kind of running with it. And then he has some other projects that he's also working on.
Okay.
So yeah, and then of course, just the dynamic of working, living, and doing everything with your spouse or partner. We balance each other very well, but we also can get on each other's nerves. So
I think that is yes. I have many friends who are in business together with their spouses, and it's like, I don't know how you do it. Just from my own experience, my dad was a funeral director and we lived in the funeral home. I grew up in the funeral
oh,
home. It was a family event and everything. So it's like we were there all the time.
yeah,
Like that was quite an experience. If I want to share this with, obviously I know where to send people to from where, right?
yeah.
And send people to, what other things can I help you with? And the other ladies on that'll be watching that can help you, to maybe get more marketing, get some more things out for people to come to you, other than, I know you go to some of the short-term rental seminars and things like that I do too. What are some other things that we can help you with to be able to expand your database of people and digital storefronts?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think just getting the word out. So letting your friends know, if you have an STR, sign up if you're interested and you think it's something that would benefit you. There's also, I will say, when you sign up, there is a field for like, how did you hear about us? So if anyone
Mhm.
signs up, they can just put your name, and then
Oh, great.
we'll know.
Everything go sip, sell, repeat, right? Sip, sell, repeat,
Yeah,
whether you're sipping coffee or, wine or whatever the case may be. I know that as I've been talking to other realtors in the field, because this is pretty broad podcast. It's not any one narrow specific area. So I'm so glad that you wanted to come on and talk to us about this because I do short-term rentals and long-term rentals. And so having that group, I've got a few people I want to share too with you that have you that when we get off, I'll do that. But that
for that.
I hope it can get you going a little bit more. Do you have and you probably are going very well. I don't want to say you're not. I'm just, giving you more advertisement, get you going from there. What is, again, talking or using me as an example, since I do have the properties. And I know you said earlier, I'm trying to come up with the right term, right focus here. It doesn't really matter how many products you have that's in your digital storefront. Are there, oh, that's what I was going to get to. Can people do reviews at all about the products that we're doing? Or is that involved? Is that anyway in your platform?
That's a great question, and that's something that we are working on because we don't have it yet, and we know
Okay.
how important it is and how when people want to shop, they want to see reviews. I will say that when we first started, we were only selling to people who were coming through short-term rentals or boutique hotels where they had
Right.
actually experienced the product. So reviews weren't
Hmm.
that important because they had already tested the product in real life. They
Tested it.
lived in it, they had sat on the couch, they had used whatever the kitchen equipment was.
Right.
Reviews seemed less important. But as we've grown and people have started shopping on from other sources, they're not only coming through storefronts, they're maybe searching for some sort of home goods and they end up on our site organically. Reviews become more important because then they're looking for something and they don't have that, you know, firsthand experience with the product like they would have if they were coming directly through um, a storefront from a property.
Okay. This is kind of cool. So as far as a network, then I have my digital storefront. My neighbor has a digital storefront. They have different tastes than I may have or whatever. Is there any larger, your main website that we individually are attached to, or do we have individual storefronts? Do you understand what
Um,
I'm saying?
I think so. So let me answer it and then tell me if I answer your
Okay.
question. So if you come to FromWhere, say from like Google, you're searching and you end up at
Right.
FromWhere, you can browse different storefronts. So I can just come onto
Oh,
the
okay.
site and end up on your storefront for one of your houses. There's different ways to shop now because, like I said, we've evolved as things have, as we've gone and we've learned things and we've seen how people are using the site. So you can shop by storefront, you can shop by like a space, like are you looking for living room stuff or kitchen stuff? You can shop by brand. Maybe you like loved something by a certain brand in a home and you want to see what else that brand offers. So there's different ways to kind of navigate the shopping experience, if that makes
Okay,
sense.
that's exactly how I was wondering, because if I'm here on Pensacola Beach and it's more of a beachy kind of environment and our condos or our houses and everything like that, now I'm gonna go to the mountains and I see something in the mountains that I may want to bring to my personal home, versus just a short-term rental, something like that. So we have that opportunity then to be on your platform to experience all that.
Yep.
Is that correct? Oh, that's
That-
awesome.
yeah.
I have to get on there real quick. The What have you seen from your clients and from people that are working with you, that do they communicate back with you on what they found to be the, I won't say best, but the products that may be noticed more? Like, for some reason, people like my beds. And I go, they're really nothing fancy, but that's, or what kind of bed is it? It has a topper on it because it wasn't a real $6,000 bed.
Yep.
But, and then when I say that, they go, really? I go, yeah. It's,
And then they
you know,
probably want to get that topper for,
yeah.
their so the
Exactly, because they
capacity.
said something about the bed. So, are there any particular products that you see pop up or things that people really ask for based on how you monitor the back end of your platform?
Yep, I think definitely, mattresses and bedding are a big one, and that, we know kinda, like, makes or breaks a stay, like, if you have a
Yeah,
really great night's sleep and you're just so comfortable, you're like, "Wow, I had a great stay."
right.
And that's the origin story with From Where. We were in Hawaii, and we slept on this bed, and I was like, "Wow, I don't know I slept that well in so long. What is this magic bed?" Right? Also, we see like decor type stuff. We've seen like bar stools, chairs.
Okay,
And what else? I think like the bedroom setup is really important. And that's what we keep
right,
seeing. I had mentioned coffee before. So like coffee stations are, uh,
right.
people love a good coffee station.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and we also see that those things like the sleep and the bed and the coffee and the experience, those all really play into, the overall guest experience and
right.
the reviews. So sometimes it's just those little things that make the big difference.
Oh, yeah. So sometimes I go, really? I go, and I wouldn't have even thought of it, because they had the experience and shared it with me. And I'm actually in one of my places right now. And so I run into my business is in a historical home, which also has three other B&Bs in it. So I'm running into people a lot all the time. So I'm always asking them about, it's a 200-year-old home. I'm so sorry, it creaks. Oh no, that's part of this place. I said, okay.
Mhm.
It's, certain things like that. But because of location, downtown, historic area, trying to give the beach, but also give the history with it, those types of things. If you were to tell us who would be interested in coming on board with you, how long does it take, do you think, on an average? Or is it just depending on items and how long does that
To
onboarding process work?
to get the, storefront up and running,
Yeah.
we can do it pretty quickly. So, I like to say it's really a matter of how quickly
Us.
you take to get back to
I know.
uh,
It's us. It's us. I know.
but
And that
once we create the initial storefront, I mean, we can do that usually within a couple days and get that up, get you, kind of a draft for review, and then, it's kind of a everything looks great, let's get it up, or, we have a couple tweaks here and there.
right.
So we can move pretty quickly, and then we can always iterate too. So that's the other thing, if
Right.
something changes, you swap out the bed, you swap something, we can do that on the storefront as well.
Okay. If is the storefront branded color wise to you from where, or is it branded color wise to it? Like, for example, I have a company manages all the places. How does that
Um,
work?
So the website itself, if you come through the homepage, it's from where, and then once you
Right.
put in the storefront ID, or if you say go direct to that storefront, it's gonna have a photo of the property, and then it has like a little kind of description, and it'll say the property's name. So whatever you want to name the property, usually people want it to be
Okay.
consistent with what they have on their
Right.
list,
Then I'm ready.
and then just a little write up. So we don't have currently any STRs that are like branded to them, but we do
Okay.
for interior designers and boutique hotels. I mean, that's something like
Okay.
say you
It's
wanted
bigger.
to, we
Yeah.
could probably figure it for you for sure.
And is this so is this website per unit? Is it per house? Is that basically what you're saying? So it's the $99 per house, per
Correct.
listing.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
For example, say you have a bunch of listings, we can do some sort of
Right.
like bundle price. And we
Right.
do see a
Right.
lot of times people maybe use the same products as well
Correct.
across properties. So we can definitely do some
Do
sort of
something
like,
like that. Yeah, because my little one bedrooms are very different than a beach house, comparison of what's in each place because they're very
yeah.
different as far as that goes. Okay. That gives me some more ideas. Is there any ideas that I forgot to ask you? Is there anything that you'd like to share with the ladies here and what that
Um,
I put you on the spot here now? I can
I don't
ain't
know.
gotta
I
be on
mean,
the spot.
we've touched a lot about it, and yeah, we'd love to get, you up on the site, and, anyone
I'm
that, we, would love to build those storefronts, and,
yeah.
uh, also, maybe you can give us some feedback, once you launch yours on,
Okay.
how to better promote it. We are always looking to learn as well. So
I think the great interaction working together. I know I'm just getting ready to launch a $1.4 million beach house. And so I really am not that's not my expertise, but my friend bought it. And I said, "Oh man, you're going to make me manage it." And he goes, "Yep." I said, "Okay." So basically I'm kind of hooked into this part right here. But I think that's where we'd like to start, because this place is just, it's amazing right on the Gulf of Mexico and
oh well.
very appointed very well. He's so funny. He bought it and then he goes, "Oh, I need to take this out." It was perfect. And now he goes, "No, no, no, I'm fixing this. I'm doing that." So I haven't even seen it since he bought it. He goes, "Don't come until I fix it." Okay.
Wow.
But I think that may be one. I'll get in touch with you and see if we bring that one on because we haven't even brought it up on on the market yet because he's been taking his sweet time. It's kind of
Making
like,
it sure.
I know, but the summer's coming up. That's our prime season. I said, "You have to get me this now. I need to get you on board." So maybe by launching this all at the same time, it'd be perfect timing to show him too. Because we do use some QR codes for Google reviews or something like that. But I haven't had anything where people have asked, but I haven't sent them anywhere to look at what I have and what I have in the places. So I think this is awesome.
Yeah. No,
You've
that would be great.
introduced to a whole new business, and it seems like where you started. And it's something that will match with, I know, many of us that are probably listening to this now. And thank you very much.
All good. No, just thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was great chatting. And yeah, I look forward to building some of those storefronts for you guys.
If you're inspired by these powerful women in real estate, you'll want to catch the next conversation. Click the video on screen to keep sipping, selling, and leveling up your game.